Hello everybody, welcome to QuickSave, your quick checkpoint in the week for all the video game news. My name is Gold and we're just going to jump right into it today because I'm very excited to talk about story number 1. I was originally going to talk about how well Subnautica 2, which just released on Thursday, congratulations to Unknown Worlds, and I was going to talk about how only 60 minutes after its release, it was doing very well. But it kept doing so well that what I was originally going to say pales in comparison with the fact that, according to Harvey Randall at PC Gamer, Subnautica 2 has sold 2 million copies in 12 hours, with 9 times the players as the first, and at this point, I figure that Krafton CEO is already on his second bottle. The article reads, "It's rare, especially in this day and age, to see a genuine comeuppance play out in real time, which is why I'm savoring this particular piece of glee as I'm informed that Subnautica 2 has hit a 2 million copy milestone in just 12 hours, after selling 1 million copies in one. Per a press release sent to PC Gamer, peak concurrent players across Steam, the Epic Games Store, and Xbox exceeded 651,000 players, with Steam alone reaching a peak of more than 467,000 concurrent players. This marks approximately 9 times the all-time peak concurrent player count of the original Subnautica, which launched in 2018. As to why this is bad news for Krafton CEO Changham Kim, it's a doozy. Back in July of last year, it was revealed that the entire leadership of developer Unknown Worlds had been gutted. Things went to court where Kim was accused of kicking out the studio's former heads over a potential payout to the tune of $250 million if the game reached certain sales targets that would earn him a, quote, reputation as a pushover and endanger his position as CEO. Krafton was also accused of purposefully delaying the game to avoid the payout window. During a cross-examination, it was also confirmed that Kim had gone to ChatGPT for advice on what to do. Quote, "Now ChatGPT is starting to answer that it is difficult to cancel the earnout," Kim wrote in a message to Krafton head of corporate development, Maria Park. A judge ordered former Unknown Worlds CEO Ted Gill to be reinstated over a material breach of contract. Basically, Krafton has to pay the money it said it would pay and, quote, "can and must act in good faith to navigate their remaining contractual relationship." Obviously, that hinges on Subnautica 2 doing well, which it has done tremendously. So, all of the dumb, scummy stuff that the heads of Krafton were trying to get out of paying this money, listen, they wouldn't have had this problem if they wouldn't have just said, hey, we'll give you $250 million. Everybody, $250 million. You can spread them around the whole company if you reach this sales target. But they did say it, and they're trying to weasel their way out of it. And thankfully, they're not going to be able to. Subnautica 2 is doing exceptionally well. It was the most wishlisted game on Steam for a past while here. Fantastic. Isn't it nice to start off a show with something wonderful? And I'm very happy about this. I'm probably not going to play Subnautica 2 just yet unless my brother and our friends hop into it, because I really haven't played Subnautica 1. It sort of scares me a little bit, and I need to strengthen my fear of looking over a cliff and going, there's something down there. Story number 2. This comes from Andy Robinson at VGC. Capcom just sold more games than in any year in its history. Resident Evil Requiem helped Capcom sell more games than in any other 12-month period in its history, the company announced in its latest financial results. For the business year ended March 31st, the Japanese publisher achieved its 9th consecutive year of record profits and the highest consolidated sales and operating profit in its history, it said. In total, Capcom sold 59.07 million games during the business year, up from 51.87 million in the year prior. This figure was driven overwhelmingly by sales of Resident Evil games. Notably, Resident Evil Requiem, released in February, sold nearly 7 million units by the end of March. Capcom said 83.7% of its game sales come from older catalog titles, while a huge 93% of the games it sold were digital download versions. Looking forward, the company said it anticipates net sales of 210 million yen and operating profit of 83 million yen, which would result in 10 consecutive years of record high profit for the company. For the next business year ending March 2027, Capcom expects to increase its number of games sold by a further 10% to 65 million, it said. Its next business year will include sales of Pragmata, which sold 2 million copies in its opening weeks, and the upcoming Onimusha Way of the Sword. Mega Man Dual Override is due to release sometime in 2027. Notably, the second season of the popular Devil May Cry anime series premieres this month, and the Street Fighter movie will be released in cinemas in October. Over the past years, Capcom seems to have just established themselves, at least to me, as one of the most solid and just making a hit after hit publishers. Everything they're doing, I have some doubts about Monster Hunter Wilds. I have not played it, but I just have... As being a fan of the older Monster Hunters, I like some of the styles of those, and I don't like some of the choices they made in it. Nevertheless, the sales numbers were wild for that. Wild. Monster Hunter Wild. But even some of the smaller things they're making, like Pragmata, like Kunitsugami, which I think Pragmata has done way better than Kunitsugami, but still, they might not be super huge. Oh my gosh, they're selling them. Everybody loves them universally, but they're good. And the fact that they're doing so well allows them to stretch their legs out in other places and be like, well, what if we try this? And it might not do as well, but it's like, well, that's okay. We'll go over here. And I love that. Capcom's great. I just hope they keep going because they're making really cool things. When you see a Capcom game, immediately you're able to go like, oh, that's a Capcom game. And I think it's just so cool. They're great. I love Capcom. But you know what I love also? Story number 3. This comes from Miyamoto himself. The Legend of Zelda Movie is releasing sooner than we originally were told. Miyamoto says, "This is Miyamoto. I would like to let you know that the worldwide theatrical release date for the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda has been moved up to April 30th, 2027 from May 7th. The team is working hard to deliver the film to everyone as soon as possible. There's less than a year to go until release, so thank you for waiting." As I've said before, I'm very excited to see this. The director, Wes Ball, I have confidence. I have not seen the newest Planet of the Apes, but I've heard very good things about it. And I like the Maze Runner movies. So hopefully he has some knowledge of Zelda and didn't go into this being like, I have no idea what it is, but I'll make a fun movie about it. But if Miyamoto's a part of it, the Mario movies are good, I have confidence. I really hope this is better than the Mario movies. I really like Super Mario Brothers. I like Super Mario Galaxy. But this needs to be more special. This needs to be better. It needs to feel huge. It needs to have a big scale, and it needs to feel like, I don't really want to use this word because I feel like it's overused far too much. But I really do think it needs to feel epic to the fullest sense of the word. And now we don't have to wait as long as we did beforehand. Story number 4. This comes from Lewis Parker at Kotaku. Sega decides to quietly kill its mysterious super game after seeing so many live services tank. Thankfully, Sega's planned revivals of classic titles such as Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi are unaffected by the super game project's cancellation. Back in 2001, Sega announced that it was partnering with Microsoft to create a super game, a quote, large-scale global title that was set to launch at some point in 2026. Since then, we've only really heard small references to the project through Sega's fiscal earnings reports, and today's news is no different in that respect, as Sega has just unceremoniously revealed that the Super Game project has been cancelled. Considering the project was announced roughly 5 years ago, the way in which Sega has opted to reveal its cancellation feels oddly nonchalant, as the only reference to the project is a single line in the Progress through Fiscal Year 2026 section of the latest earnings presentation that simply reads, "Decided to cancel Super Game." That's one way to ditch a very mysterious project fans have been speculating about for years. Not with a super bang, but with a super whimper, I guess. However, we can pull some context from the section that the offhand reference to the Super Game is contained in, as the header for the slide is titled, "Reviewed the Strategic Positioning of Games as a Service." Although this was never confirmed by Sega, several reports over the past 5 years suggested that the Super Game project was a Fortnite-esque free-to-play FPS. Boy, we don't have many of those. That would combine all of Sega's most popular IPs into a single title. I'll be frank, I had not read this article before reading it now. Everybody's chasing Fortnite. Everybody's chasing Fortnite. Okay, I'm sorry. Sega also states on the same slide that it's, quote, lowered the priority of free-to-play games moving forward, and that over 100 developers have already been transferred to full game development and away from free-to-play focused projects. This decision is undoubtedly related to the $31 million net losses reported within the same presentation, which blames Sega on the soft sales for its free-to-play titles and the consolidation of two acquired companies, Rovio and Stake Logic. The pivot follows in the footsteps of Sony and others who have reconsidered the rush to try to create the next forever game after so many of them have come out and failed spectacularly. After Suicide Squad and Concord both flopped in 2024, many publishers have gone back to the drawing board to find out what the next big fad is to chase. Although previous reports stated that several projects within Sega's upcoming slate of 2026 and 2027 titles were part of its Super Game initiative, it would seem that its cancellation confirms that these games were unrelated, as the presentation states that Sega's upcoming Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, and Jet Set Radio games are still set to launch at an unspecified point in the future. Sega says the death of its Super Game will incur, quote, no additional costs. I am glad they are not doing a live service game. We do not need another live service game. I know some good ones come around. I'm looking at you, Highguard. I miss it. I think about it a lot. But there's just too many. Everybody and their brother trying to do the same thing. And we just don't have that much time. I hardly have any time to play. I'll talk about this later. I'm getting off track. I would have liked to see what this is, but I'm sort of glad they're probably now diverting their resources elsewhere. Onwards and upwards, Sega. Onwards and upwards. Story number 5. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Best Buy tells affiliates it's starting GTA 6 pre-orders next week, sparking speculation that a new trailer is coming. Take-Two's next financial results are also presented next week. Players have been speculating that a new trailer for GTA 6 could be coming next week. During a live stream earlier today, YouTuber FrogboyX1 Gaming was checking his phone when he received an email from Best Buy's affiliate program. The email informed him that a pre-order campaign for physical copies of GTA 6 would take place from May 18th to the 21st, with affiliates eligible to receive 5% for each sale they link to. Do you know how much money I could make if I got everybody to buy it through my affiliate link? I'd never have to work another day in my life. Other Best Buy affiliates have since confirmed that they received the email too, suggesting that Best Buy is set to start taking pre-orders for the game starting on Monday. The news has now led to speculation that a new trailer for GTA 6 may be released to coincide with pre-order starting. This would also coincide with Take-Two Interactive's upcoming Q4 2026 earnings conference call, which is set to take place on May 21st. Should Take-Two decide to release a trailer before this call, perhaps reconfirming the game's currently planned November 19th release date, it would allow the company to refer to it during its results presentation and its forecast for financial year 2027, and would eliminate the need for investors to ask questions about its status during the Q&A portion of the presentation. I knew this was going to happen within this next month. It would be now, or I was sort of betting probably more around Summer Games Fest. But Rockstar doesn't need anybody to help them advertise anything, so this doesn't really surprise me. And what I'm very interested to see, assuming this comes out next week, how much is it going to cost? We've heard rumors of people saying $100. We heard, what was it? Was it Chase Bank? Or one of the big banks in America? It was saying like, it's your duty. You need to list it for $80 for the good of the industry. So to be frank, I imagine there's going to be like 3 tiers of the game. I've heard people say they think the lowest will probably be $70. I think most likely that's the right go. And then they will have a $90 version, and they'll have a $120 version to get probably some physical stuff, to get a bunch of in-game money, shark cards, early access. Once they start this, all eyes are going to be looking at this, and they have the stage all to themselves for the next few months. And I'm sure we will probably get 2 more trailers, 3 more trailers maybe. And hopefully on Monday, we'll actually, for the first time, get to see gameplay. But until then, story number 6. This comes from the Discord blog. Xbox Game Pass comes to Discord Nitro. Nitro members now get access to a starter edition of Xbox Game Pass, including a library of 50 plus PC and console games you can download and play anytime you want. Your Nitro membership is still the same price, and Game Pass is now part of it. They said that, I think this is one of the best benefits we're offering because it changes how you try games. Most of us have spent money on something, played it for a couple weeks, then watched it sit in our library. Game Pass removes that friction. The starter edition of Game Pass also comes with 10 hours of cloud gaming, so you can stream games right away on more devices. Whether you're into survival, strategy, co-op, or just want to farm in peace, there's something in there for you. Think Fallout 4, Stardew Valley, DayZ, Deep Rock Galactic, Overcooked 2, Grounded, and more. New games will be added periodically, so there will be more to play. Check out your Nitro home to get started. And on top of that, I'm very curious to see how many of the Discord Nitro members use Xbox Game Pass. I find it very interesting that they're not upping the price at all for Nitro. I believe that it's not the lowest tier of Nitro you can get, but I'm very curious to see how many new active users Xbox gets from this. And on top of this, tiered gamer scores are coming to Xbox profiles. I really did not expect Asha Sharma to work this hard and actually make this much progress, but they just keep making small little wins. And I if they keep going, we might actually see a turnaround for Xbox and see them come back in a way that I didn't really think was possible. And I hope so. I really do hope so. Well, that is all of our main news for today. So in other news, and this really shouldn't be in other news. It's pretty, sort of bigger. But Marathon is going to be testing out PvE modes in Season 2. Marathon did not get the numbers that they wished it would have, so this is probably their way to try to get more people in. It's a good game. I tried one of their open betas, and I'm sure I'll get it at some point. I love the original Destiny, and some of Destiny 2 that I played. Bungie's very good at what they do, and I hope this does well. And the PvE seemed fun. Arc Raiders is going to have major updates twice a year. I hope that works out for them. 6 months in between updates seems really big. Their next one is coming out in October, which is 5 months from now. It's just something that these companies with these live service games like this have to combat constantly because people want a constant flow of content. I do love Arc Raiders, and I hope this is the right decision for them and works out well for them and all of us players. My Nintendo News reports that Kadokawa Corporation recently informed investors that the long-awaited Elden Ring Tarnished Edition and the Duskbloods are still on track for a worldwide 2026 release on the Nintendo Switch 2. So I fully expect us to see this during Nintendo's Summer Games Fest presentation. Saros has sold only 300,000 plus copies in 2 weeks and may, quote, struggle to break even. But those that bought it are putting a lot of time into it, they say. The Steam controller does the Wilhelm screen if you drop it, and I just want Steam to let me order it. I have my reservation. I ordered it. I reserved it immediately as soon as reservations were open. Just let me do it, and I want to drop it on a pillow and hear it scream. Nintendo Life reports that with Dragon Quest celebrating its 40th anniversary this month, Yuji Horii, the creator of Dragon Quest, has said that a live stream will be taking place on May 27th. Apart from this, Horii mentioned how there will also be, quote, various other things besides the next game to share, and told fans to please look forward to the live stream. Square Enix hasn't officially announced this broadcast yet, but one game many fans are hoping to hear more about is the next major entry, Dragon Quest XII: The Flames of Fate. This next chapter in the series was originally announced during the 35th anniversary stream alongside multiple other Dragon Quest titles. I can't wait for this. I love Dragon Quest, and I'm sure this game's gonna be huge and beautiful. And even when I started with Dragon Quest IX, Sentinels of the Starry Skies on the Nintendo DS, and even though I only started with that one, it just feels so nostalgic to me. And I love Dragon Quest. I'm so excited. Surprise, surprise, eBay did not accept GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen's $56 billion offer, saying it was, quote, neither credible nor attractive. Who woulda thunk? Both of the VR games Moss and Moss Book 2 are being compiled into one non-VR game called Moss the Forgotten Relic. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 has finished filming. I'm actually very excited about this. I've only seen the third one, and to be frank, I didn't realize how geared towards children it was until, I see Robotnik dancing with Robotnik and a bunch of silly stuff. But there's something about it that I desperately want to see this other movie coming out. There's Metal Sonic in the post-credit scenes. Spoilers. Pirate survival game Windrose has sold 2 million copies. So congratulations to those devs. And apparently, the original Star Fox artist says that the character designs in Star Fox on Switch 2 are, quote, exactly the visuals he had in his head when making Star Fox 64. And the final thing on our list for today is today's game highlight, and I am excited to tell you about this because this is Rewindead. I played the demo, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Rewindead is a hybrid action puzzle game where you play as a time-looping assassin. Eliminate your target, rewind time, and outplay your past selves as they repeat your previous actions. Cash in on the same contract across multiple timelines, and the faster you play, the greater the reward. As I said, I played the demo. This is a cool game. So it starts out, you go through a level. It takes maybe 30 seconds, maybe, if you're slow. There's a time limit on each level, and you go through, shoot a few guys, you can slow down time, you kill the main target, and then you start over again. And you are now in a timeline with your previous self, and you have to make sure you have to kill your previous self, and then you have to kill the target. You can't let your previous self kill the target, and you can't kill the target before you kill your previous self. And then you do it again. And so then you have to make sure that you kill your previous self before your previous self kills your previous self. Because you have to kill both of your previous selves. And you can have up to 5 timelines. In fact, if you see here, some point in this gameplay, which is mine, I just did not understand what was happening because I came to the realization, I have to kill all of my previous selves. This is a wild game. It's fun. And it's also mind-bending, and there is no release date for it yet, but I want to buy this. This looks like a really good, probably, I'm guessing, $20 game. Please try the demo if this looks interesting to you at all. It is well worth your time. It does not take long to get through it all, maybe 20 or 30 minutes at most. And it's just, this is a fantastic game, and I cannot wait for it to come out. Well, that is all. That is all the news for today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. There's no way I'm going to get this episode out tonight. It's 11/11. So this is going to be a Saturday edit. But I will see you next time.